Alright, anyways. Why don't we go ahead and do the one-player game as Luigi. Now, his ultimate costumes include his Super Mario Bros. 1 color palette. Pretty cool. We also got a blue variant and a pink variant. Very nice. Alright, time for the green L's to duke it out. Now, Luigi is a character like no other in this game, as he actually heavily borrows a moveset from another character. That's right, Luigi in this game is eerily similar to his older brother Mario in this game, is that they share a lot of the same moves. In fact, they share all the same special moves. Luigi also has a fireball. However, this time, of course, it's green, and rather than traveling in like an arc pattern, it actually travels straight forward. So there is some distinction to Luigi. He isn't a direct clone. He does have some distinctions, but the basics of the character are pretty much the same as Mario. His up special is pretty much the same, although sometimes he can hit a critical hit on the opponent, which is something that Mario isn't able to do. Not only are a lot of Luigi's moves the same as Mario, but his voice is also eerily similar to Mario's, as they are the same voice clips, but just at a higher pitch. Now, I don't know if I mentioned that all of Mario's voice clips in this game are actually just reused from Super Mario 64. That is the same case for Luigi, to where it's just Mario's clips, Mario's voice lines from Mario 64, but at a higher pitch. The same is done in Super Smash Bros. Melee on GameCube. Which is weird because at that time Luigi kind of had an established voice with stuff like Luigi's Mansion, but they did it anyway. Whatever. Now you may notice that Luigi's dash attack is another pretty distinct move from Mario in that he kind of does I don't even know what you call it. Like what's the term? Just a bunch of rapid, small little punches. It's like a kiddie fight or something. That's kind of what I was going for. Also, yeah, his down special is pretty much the same as Mario's. The tornado move, which is pretty much the spin, kind of like the spin jump in Super Mario World. Also, I believe there's also some other differences to Luigi. Like, of course, I think he has a higher jump compared to Mario, which is kind of obvious. Because, you know, that's kind of one of his distinctions in the Super Mario games, is that Luigi always seems to have a higher jump. His brother, and is also, of course, taller. Anyways, here's Luigi's Break the Target stage. That one requires his up special. Also, yeah, his double jump sound, or double jump voice line, is actually different from Mario's. It's another one of the voice clips taken from straight from Mario 64. I forget exactly where its context would be in Mario 64, but whatever. I think it's from doing like a high jump from doing a backflip as Mario in that game, and once you land, I think he does make that make that noise. Anyways, we have a different alternate color for Luigi as the opponent Luigi this time, which is pretty cool. So yeah, isn't that interesting that one of the unlockable characters in this game is seen in the one-player game. He's also, of course, seen in the how to play tutorial. I might have explained that before, but it's still kind of interesting. Especially since none of the other unlockable characters appear. Like, you don't ever see Jigglypuff anywhere. Well, that worked. Nice. Now, I believe Luigi actually does have, and Mario actually do have unused dialogue in this game, which is weird because it's not original. It's just one voice line of Mario singing, God, "Let's a Go," which is taken straight from Super Mario 64. Whenever you first enter a level, he says that in the game. And there's also a version for Luigi. Oh, by the way, that's what happens when you break the shield of your opponent. It can happen. It's pretty rare. And I don't know how Pikachu survived that, but he definitely won't survive that one. Look at that. Luigi using the hammer. We got Shield Breaker bonus for that. It's almost like Luigi was part of the Donkey Kong franchise the whole time and always be using the hammer, even though he never did. It is weird to think about. Mario has appeared in so many Donkey Kong games, but Luigi never has. I don't even think Luigi's appeared in any of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. Uh-oh. I just realized we have Mario on our team. How funny. Looks like our brother's helping us defeat this ginormous ape. There we go. Alright, so Luigi's board the platform stage. It is interesting that the break the targets and board the platform stages for Luigi have the same kind of ground texture, I guess, to kind of represent Mario Brothers, because it's pretty similar to the ground texture in that game, and that was the first ever game that Luigi appeared in. Come on. So another distinction about Luigi usually in the Super Mario games is that not only does he have a higher jump, but his kind of weakness is that it usually takes him longer to turn around. And I believe that is represented in this game. Wow, that was awful. Okay. We'll have to return to that one eventually. But anyways, yeah, that was one distinction of him, especially in kind of the first like platforming Super Mario game that Luigi was in, and that was, well, actually not really, because Luigi was in the original Super Mario Brothers. However, the first time he was actually given his iconic distinctions from Mario was in Super Mario Bros. 2, which was released exclusively in Japan. Reason being is that when Nintendo of America did check out the game for themselves, they decided not to release it in North America, and same for Europe, because they thought the game was too difficult. So it was never released in North America or Europe until 1993, in a compilation game for the Super Nintendo titled Super Mario All-Stars, where it was renamed to Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. But yeah, in that, first of all, the game has no multiplayer for some reason. However, you have an option of either playing as Mario or Luigi, and that is where Luigi was given his character distinctions of being able to jump higher, but yeah, be a lot more slippery and not turn around as quickly. Pretty cool. Also, yeah, one of the rare instances where Luigi is seen wearing purple overalls as opposed to his usual blue. I believe it's this and Super Mario World for Super Nintendo, where Luigi can be seen wearing purple overalls. I did say by Super Smash Bros. Melee that Luigi had like an established voice. He definitely did not in the Nintendo 64 era. Because this was the era where most Nintendo characters first had like actual voices, you know, Mario's was established pretty quickly. Link's was established pretty quickly. Not the same for Luigi. All sorts of games, Luigi had different voices. I think even different voice actors in some instances, like with Mario Kart 64 and the Mario Party games, where he sounded pretty different in those games. And same for the Mario sports games, like Mario Tennis, where he sounds pretty different. Oh, by the way, one more thing about Luigi. Another thing that makes him distinct from Mario. He has a different taunt. And Luigi's taunt is like no other in the game. I don't know if I could show it here. Yeah, because Metal Mario is going to get all on me. But I might be able to show it after we defeat him. Well, I was kind of able to. Showed the first part of it. But now we gotta race to the finish. And I honestly can't tell if Luigi is faster than Mario as well. I don't think he is in this game. He might have been in the Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm not sure about that. Doesn't seem like it. But that jump is definitely... that is a high jump. Now, another game where Luigi had a higher jump was actually the international version of Super Mario Bros. 2, which was a completely different game from the original Super Mario Bros. And that's because it was a reskin of a pre-existing game titled Doki Doki Panic, which was like an original game. Kind of. I think it had some popular Japanese characters in it that they decided to take and reskin and make it more Mario-like for international audiences to have their own Super Mario Bros. 2. And of course it became a cult favorite and even became the reason, even became the debut of many Mario enemies like the Bob-omb and the Shy Guy. So technically, gosh darn it, this freaking box, explosions, hate it. Just hate that my first stock wasn't even taken by an actual enemy, but just by my own idiocy. Well, I wouldn't call it idiocy, just me not knowing. Maybe I should be more careful next time. That's the thing about this game. Always be careful when handling container items, because so often will they just be a straight up explosive. Same applies for Melee as well. And I think Brawl, but I'm not too... Actually, I don't think so in Brawl onwards. But definitely in this game, along with Melee, there will be a lot of container items that will just end up being explosives. Uh-oh. That was cool. So yeah, the beam sword's a pretty cool item. I don't know if I introduced the beam sword before. But yeah, it's pretty much just a sword that you hold, that you're able to swing. It's essentially just a lightsaber. But not called that for legal reasons. Anyways, we've got Onyx from the Pokeball. Another explosive! 2 in a row in the same round! Not in a row, but almost. God. There goes my no miss streak. Great. Just in time for Master Hand. My God. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's only gonna affect my score, which it's not the end of the world. If I really wanted to go for a score, I could just, I don't know, do it again. Which I don't know if I have the time to do that. But maybe in the future. Who knows? Now about Luigi's voice, he was given an established voice, of course, in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because plenty of more, voice-acted games for Mario have come out by that time. I mean, there was a 7-year gap between the releases of Melee and Brawl. Of course that was going to be the case. And also the fact that Luigi's kind of the only clone character in this game. He would definitely not be the last in the series. The next game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, is notorious for having a lot of these characters that are similar to other characters, but with slight distinctions. And it's funny because Luigi's kind of the most distinct of all of them. Anyways, there we go. Speed King and normal clear. It could have been so much better. But it wasn't. Ain't that a shame? Speed through the credits. I believe, actually, Luigi's voice will now show up. It definitely was going to for Charles Martinet, and there we go. Probably saw Luigi's name there. And we also have Earthbound and F-Zero names showing up in the credits, so that's pretty cool. Might need to go through the credits again just to show that, but who knows. Anyways, here's Luigi's congratulations screen of him punching his brother with a smash text on top. Interesting. But yeah, Luigi will always be the better brother. Mario deserves that for keeping Luigi in the shadow for so long. But yeah.